influence is he on this team?
Well, like I said, Steve, when we got him on loan, I was very surprised. I think I went on record with someone saying he's far too good for this team at the minute, the way they were trying to progress. Now we've seen that the team is going towards its end form. But like when you look at the quality of Martin Ødegaard and how good he is in tight spaces, the one touches, the space he finds, always picks up space, gets himself in space, gives himself time to pass balls in through the lines like that, all that sort of stuff. This is the guy, remember, that Real Madrid bought when he was 15. They saw this, but obviously they haven't got the patience for it to bear fruit. But like maybe that's Arsenal's. That's going to be to Arsenal's. I don't know, benefit, because you're looking at the quality that he's got, the humbleness of him, and the way he is, and the way he's leading this team now as the captain after being there only for a couple of years. It's fantastic. You know, it's fantastic. And yes, Aaron Ramsdale, look, he's great skills there. Aaron Ramsdale got the man of the match today, but like, again, Martin Ødegaard's chasing him close. And I think that if it carries on like it is and he carries on playing like this, he's got to be in with a player of the season.
Yeah, probably. You must appreciate a player like that.
For sure. And Real Madrid is watching probably and they're scratching their heads. We didn't judge him right. Probably didn't have the patience, as you said. But I think that loan spells that he had after when he was in Real Madrid, he was loaned to 3 different clubs, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that helped him develop and become what he is today. And of course, he's still very young. He's going to get even better, more mature. But the way he plays is... that maturity is even now there, you know, and we can see the tricks and the turns and the pass. He wants the ball, he doesn't wait the ball, he's just going and chasing the game, not the game chasing him, and he wants that responsibility. And maybe because of all this quality, maybe that's why he's a captain. Maybe you know more, but obviously there's a reason him to be a captain.
He leads by example. You know, he's not like Mikel was saying the other day that he doesn't talk a lot, he doesn't shout and scream, but when you watch him in every single game, if he's not the man of the match, he's close to the man of the match. He leads by example. He leads by how he plays.
And that interview, it was really good. What he said exactly: stay humble.
Stay humble.
You know, watch, because there's a lot of games until the end. And this is exactly how a leader should lead. With example, when you need to say something, you say it. When you don't, you just lead by example. Yeah,
and just a little footnote: 8 goals now. He's Arsenal's top goal scorer, Martin Ødegaard.
Yeah, well, they've been shared about the place. Obviously, everybody thought that the way Jesus started, which was magnificent for us, and then obviously the injuries come along, and Eddie's come in and he's done very well. So unlucky today to not nick one of those goals, but you need goals from everywhere, and that's what's happening. You've got Saka's got a few now, Martinelli's got a few, Ødegaard's got a few. You know, so the goals are being shared out. Xhaka's got a few. So, you know, it's something that's what's going to need to be. That's what's going to have to happen. If someone goes down, then you've got to make sure that it doesn't affect the team to the point where it cuts off something.
Well, actually, is it better to have players with almost equal goals than wait? Exactly, just on one player to score the goals.
Of course it is, Dimi. Simply because, you know, you want to make sure that, okay, if somebody marks Mikel Berbatov out the game, then like Tottenham don't score, Fulham don't score, Monaco don't score. You want to be able to know that when the way you're playing, someone else will get the goals as well. So then you can continue to progress and continue to score goals.
You missed out Man United. You won the Premier League.
Man United as well. Yeah. So I don't want to say Man United.
Let's go back to the stadium. William Gallas has watched with interest, played, of course, in this derby for both clubs. Good to see you. What did you make of that today?
Hello, everyone.
Hello, William.
Hello. No, I will say the same thing like Dimitar and Jan Wright. You know, I think Arsenal deserve to win tonight. They play very well. They were very strong. They scored 2 goals. They defend very well, and I'm not really surprised about their victory.
And what kind of statement is that victory today? They keep getting asked these questions, William, up at the top of the league. They keep having the answers.
You know, to be honest, now they got 8 points on Manchester City. And even if the season is still long, you know, because I think they have still played 18 games, 8 points is very important, you know, to try to win the Premier League. We know how difficult is it, because you still have to play against big team, and they have to play as well against Manchester City twice, if I'm not wrong. So psychologically, you know, that 8 points can make the difference for the end of the season.
William, how are you, my friend? Good to see you.
I'm all right. It's very freezing here.
I wanted to ask you, William, about the maturity of the squad now. When you look last season, obviously they missed out on Champions League, losing to Newcastle, losing to Tottenham. Can you see a maturity in the team that may be able to bring them all the way through to the end of the season?
Yes, you can see they are more mature, but as well, I think everything is from the manager, you know, from Mikel Arteta, how he speaks to his players, and the players got that confidence from their managers. So now, for example, from tonight, you know, how they play, you know, keep the ball, pass the ball very well, do the good pressing when they didn't have the ball, and even if they were 2-0 up, you know, in the second half, you know, they didn't panicking. Yes. Tottenham was pushing and pushing to try to score that goal, but Arsenal was very strong. So, yeah, they are really more mature than the last year.
Finally, William, just a quick word on Spurs as they approach the halfway stage. They've lost 6 of the last 12 league games, 5 points off the top 4. Where are they at the moment for you?
Sorry?
Where are Tottenham at the moment after 6 defeats in 12 and 5 points off the top 4?
You know, I was a little bit, to be honest, I was a little bit disappointed about Tottenham tonight because they play home, they should do better. Hugo Lloris make a mistake, the defenders make a mistake as well, and it looked like it would be very difficult for Tottenham to finish on the top 4. So for the next game, you know, they have to correct what they didn't do right tonight, and if they can, to qualify for the Champions League, but it would be really, really difficult for them.
Thanks, William. Good to see you.
Thank you very much, guys.
Spurs, of course, in action on Thursday night at the Etihad against Manchester City.
A terrific victory for your side. What brought it about?
Everything. I love the way we played, the courage that we showed to come here and play the way we played. And obviously, we have a job. We can make a lot of people happy. And I'm sure tonight we made a lot of Arsenal fans very happy.
I'm sure your side made you happy too as well. What in particular did they do for you today?
Not for me. It's the way...
Not for you, but for you, but not for you personally.
Everything that we ask them, they are so willing always to try to do it. It's a terrific group of players. But today I think we went another step. Obviously we won this season, last season in bigger stadiums, but especially the way we won today, I think is very pleasing to watch.
Was it the character your players showed, the bravery, if you like, to play their style of football away from home at ground, which as you well know, because you're in the team, you haven't won, not this particular ground, at Spurs since 2014.
Yeah, which I was here, but it shows, again, not only determination and courage is great, but then you need to have the belief and then you have to have the quality to do against this team what we've done today. So that's down absolutely to the players.
Did you also do the ugly side of the game well today in terms of the hard work, the hard graft, the defending, as well as popping the ball around?
Yeah, we were really aggressive. I think we were really intense in our high press. We regained so many balls. We won so many duels. We managed those balls. After that's really good. There are a couple of moments they're going to create you chances and openings, and they are a very dangerous team. But I think overall we did a lot of good things today.
Now, I don't want to spoil your day. It's a fantastic day. 8 points clear at the top of the table, but you have lost out on a transfer target that you were heavily linked with, Mudryk. How disappointed are you about that?
I'm very proud to have the players that we have. We always want to improve the squad. The club is the first one that is trying to do everything we can to improve the players, but I think as well we have to have some discipline, you know, and we have to be very consistent in the targets that we want, but as well what we are able to do in each moment, and we can get those players better. So let's focus on that.
Have you got enough, though? Have you got enough players here now? Because you fell short last season, you didn't have enough options. Is it vital, if you like, not get carried away, but you're top of the table right now, but as you know, those leads can disappear very quick, and there's a lot of football to be played. Yeah. Do you need more numbers?
That's what I said yesterday, that obviously we had some injuries and some long-term injuries, and this is not helpful, but we can focus on tomorrow, train better, review the game, and go day by day. The window is open. We will try to improve the team, but there are a few parties that always are involved, and the club is willing, and they have my support. I have their support, and we will try to do it together.
I must ask you as well about the incident involving Aaron Ramsdale at the end, where he was kicked by a supporter. What's your view on what happened?
No view, because I haven't watched it. What I watch is a great game of football, and this is what I want to talk about.
Thanks, Mikel.
Thank you very much, Jeff.
Yeah, great day for Mikel Arteta, the Arsenal manager, winning away at Spurs. And interesting there, Wrighty, when he said it was another step up in performance today.
Yeah, it was, because like what we've seen is that Arsenal are able to if they are under pressure away from home against a good side, that they can still play how they want to play, still play to their plan, like Aaron Ramsdale said. And what we've also seen, that there was a 15-20 minute period where it did look a little bit ropey for them, like Martin Odegaard said, that we kind of lost it a little bit. And those are the times in games where you're hoping that for a young squad they can manage it a little bit better and take the sting out of a Tottenham, because you do feel that if they scored in that time, it was started to feel a bit precarious. So those are the things that they're probably learning, and you know, it's. And that's what happens when you're going for a league. You're going to get tested in that respect, and so they're going to have to learn quickly.
And they are learning quickly, aren't they? It seems.
No, they are. But at the end of the day, I don't think they will change the way they play.
No.
This is their style of football: pass, control the game, control the tempo, trying to find the right time to pass the ball into the space, and then explore, attack. And this is all because, as I said before, Arteta is a student of Pep Guardiola, so he exactly doing probably the same thing that the way City is playing. And it'll be interesting to watch when these two clubs face each other.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to watch how they're gonna play. But they're not going to change Arsenal. This is the way how they play. Doesn't matter who they play against. This is their style of play of football. And as I said before, you can see how calm they are with the ball in their feet, because you have players who are fighting with the ball, and they don't think before the ball arrives to them, and they just are not 2 steps ahead into the game. Most of the Arsenal players, they know exactly what to do before the ball comes to them, which is a great way to play football.
You know what's good as well, when you watched in that instant as well, when it started to get away from them a bit, because they've got the 5, so you've got the 5 people going forward and they tried to press. That's why you see so many people pressing. But when they do break, they've got that 5 that can help to stop the counter-attack as well. And that is something that they have to get the balance of, because we saw today a couple of times with Tottenham that if it got a little bit out of shape or bent out of shape a bit, then Tottenham got in and they got a couple of shots, they got the cross in. If you lose the ball in certain areas, like we saw with Zinchenko, with the cross from Højbjerg to Harry Kane, those kind of things are the things you got to be careful of. Losing the ball when you're in your structure and you know you've got the structure right, but then you slip up by a silly pass or not passing it in time like Zinchenko did, and then you give the team the opportunity to do stuff like that. Those are the only things that Arsenal have to worry about. Other than that, that happens in the game. Those things happen in the game.
And when you're in a team and you're getting these results, you're adding to the belief all the time. What does it feel like when you're going onto a pitch knowing so confidently that you can get these results?
You build your confidence and you're getting slowly but surely to the goal that you put before the season starts. And they know they are getting there slowly, but at the same time, that's why I asked you right before. Now, when the games go in and you win and you win and you're getting closer to that Premier League title, maybe, then because we're all human beings, are you starting to think, well, what happened now if we slip? What happened now if we drop points?
Exactly. Yeah, but Dimi, that's the thing with this period of the season. And Arsenal, like when they're saying about the humbleness and just trying to take each game as it comes, and you hear people saying that for years down the line. All champions, teams that are going for the league are saying that, take each game as it comes. You have to stay humble, stay in the moment, because this is when the test comes. You know what it's like. It's like, I remember this time when we was doing, like 98, you don't sleep in this time. You're just focusing on making sure that you do everything right and make sure you don't get ahead of yourself. You stay calm. And that's what they've got to try and do now. And this is what's exciting about watching them now. This is exciting.
And I think they're helped by the fact that, in my mind, watching them, they are all intelligent players. When they step to the pitch. And this helps you a lot when you play football, actually, because everything is here in your mind. And I think that's how Arteta wants them to play. I think he mentioned in the interview they are smart, they're intelligent players. And in a situation where you need to be improvising, you need to get out of trouble, that intelligence can help you. And at the same time, exactly what you say, sometimes in games it happens. You're out of position. You can slip, back pass or whatever. But because of that intelligence, you can more easily cover that mistake,
Yes.
if you want.
And on that point, he was asked, obviously, we were talking about it earlier on, Mudryk has signed for Chelsea and not for Arsenal. Do they need a body in this month, do you think, or maybe two, to keep this challenge going?
Absolutely they do. You know, it's the same about Mudryk, but you hope, you know, good luck to him, hopefully he goes well. It wasn't quite working out for Arsenal simply because they went to a level that Arsenal couldn't reach, and Chelsea can. So they move again. You know, there's talk about Rafinha. You know, that would be great. He's played in the Premier League. But I think that what it doesn't do, it doesn't stop what's happening now. And what I'm really pleased about with Arsenal is that they've not, through the fact that they've wanted a player that could maybe come into the group and change and help the group. And because you can't get him, you know, you go overboard to try and get him, which may mess the group up. You know, to bring somebody in for the money's what he might be on, for the amount that you're paying for it. It's going off plan. Don't go off plan, because at the moment, everything's running pretty smoothly. So stay doing what you're doing.
Talking of plans, Tottenham certainly didn't work today. Beaten twice in the Premier League by their arch rivals in one season. Here is their manager, Antonio Conte.
You wanted today. What did you make of it?
It was difficult. It was difficult to come back after you conceded two goals. But especially when we conceded the first goal, we had the possibility to level the game with Sonny, and I think the keeper made a fantastic save. And then they scored the second goal. I think this goal could kill everybody, but not my players, because then in the second half I think that we tried with a big effort to score, to create problems at Arsenal. I think that the keeper made a fantastic save today. And yeah, you know, and Arsenal is a difficult opponent now, and like Manchester City, I think both teams are they are going to contend to be title contenders until the end to win the Premier League. And today we played against a strong team. But at the same time, I think that I have not great disappointment for the commitment of my players. I think that they showed a great pride, great desire, great will to try to come back. But sometimes in the past we did this, and today I think also the keeper was really good to avoid to concede a goal yeah.
You're absolutely right. Aaron Ramsdale was named the player of the match for the number of saves he made. But put simply, do you think today you just have to admit that Arsenal were the better team?
But for sure, Arsenal, I think that also today, also tonight, they showed to be a really good team, and I think honestly, and also I'm sure that today it wasn't easy for them to play against us, especially with this atmosphere, and instead they showed to have a great balance and to eat in the right moment, and then to suffer also in the second half, because they suffered a lot. Sure that today it wasn't easy for them to play against us, especially with this atmosphere, and instead they showed to have a great balance and to eat in the right moment, and then to suffer also in the second half, because they suffered a lot and they showed the resilience. And when a team is good to do this, it means that they are ready to fight to win the title. And I think with Manchester City, they are the only two teams that they are going to fight for the Premier League this season.
You're fighting for a place in the Champions League right now, 5 points away from that as we speak. Do you see enough with the players you have here now and the way that you are played so far this season that you can qualify for the Champions League, or does that feel like a big space for you to catch up?
But I think, first of all, that we have to try to do our best, to continue to work really hard, and at the end of the season we'll see which is our position, for sure, and for Champions League plays or Europe plays, and there are teams like Chelsea, like Liverpool, United, and now Newcastle, but also in England there are a team like Brighton, Brentford. I don't want to forget some teams, and it's really difficult. It became difficult because I repeat, every team, every club can spend money, and you go to play against a team that you think this is medium low, and instead you find important players that play with the national team. I said in the past, and I don't want to repeat, and it will be a difficult season. But at the same time, we have to try first of all to recover all the players, because today I was happy to see into the pitch again Deki, Kulusevski, and also Ricci for 20 minutes. I hope in the next game to recover Rodrigo Betancourt. Lucas Moura, honestly, I don't know how long time, how much he needs to recover. But I think this is the first step. And at the same time, I think that in this period, in this difficult period, we found players like Papasar, like Gil, and also Skip. He recovered from his injury, that can help us until the end of the season.